You're a dog. So, it's not very nice out today, but it's going to be worse tomorrow. So today's the day. So first of all, I already got the cap off the other side, kind of fucked it up. This one's probably going to get fucked up too, so I'm going to have to replace those at some point. But you'll have more room to work if you jack up your axle on that side, and it'll pivot it, so it gives you some more room to pull this off of here. But just be kind of careful that you don't bend your tie rod end there. But you should be fine. Next, you're going to want to take a pair of pliers and pull that cap off of there. Well, I messed up this cap substantially more than the last one, but fucking way she goes. Got her off of there. So at this point, before you even order your kit, you're going to want to get one of your caps off, measure the top of your spindle here to see the diameter of it, and then that way you can order the correct bearing kit. You don't want to get one that's too small. It's better to go too big than too small, but you don't want to be going way too big because you still want it to fit in here. The whole idea is that you put a washer here, and then the bearing between your two washers, and then another washer on top, and then slide this back up into your axle. And that reduces the friction because all your weight of the tractor, the front half of the tractor, sits right there. And it makes your steering much easier. It's why it's called the Poor Man's Power Steering Kit. And it just saves a lot of wear and tear on your other steering components and your wrists. Next thing you want to do is take a screwdriver and pop that clip off right there. Also, try not to send it flying somewhere where it'll get lost, like I just did. So now I get to track that down. Oh, happy day. Once you found your clip that you just slung 10 feet away from where you're working, put it somewhere safe, and then this washer just comes right off. Put that right there with your clip. Now, I'm not entirely sure on this tractor, but I'm hoping that when we jack this up, we can get this spindle out of its axle housing without having to unbolt any of our steering. We'll see about that one. I'm going to try it without unbolting shit, and then if I have to, we'll get that undone there. So far, so good. I'll have to jack it up a little bit more, but it may need a little bit of persuasion to come out of there. What I did was just started punching the tire like so with the bottom of my fist, punching the top of the tire. And after doing that a couple of times, she started coming out. So it takes a little bit of finagling, but on a Craftsman 2, you can get your spindle out of its axle housing without having to undo any of your steering, which is a good deal. I'm happy about that. So this next part, people will debate on a little bit, whether or not you actually need grease. And here's my take on it. When I pulled this off, and this steering was working relatively fine for what it is, well, it was working relatively fine. And this is fucking dry. There's no grease on that. So I would say that you don't really need grease. If it was fine without the bearing kit, it's gonna even be better with the bearings. But if you have the grease, I mean, this was $8.47. Why not? It's gonna make your bearings last longer. You're already investing the time and the 12 bucks into the kit for your bearings. Why not put grease on the damn thing? So that's what I'll be doing. Put some grease on your shop towel, and then you grease your shaft real nice up and down like, boy. Grease that old damn shaft there, son. You may notice I've already put the washer on our nice greasy shaft there. Then we're going to take our roller bearing and get a decent dollop of grease on your fingers and get that nice and coated up. Both sides. I decided I wanted the grease on this bearing, packed fairly tight, so I just kind of pushed it into there. And I don't think I'm going to do that for the other side. That's a little excessive. Doesn't hurt nothing at all, but a little excessive. Next thing we do is we put this over top of that so it sits nice and good on that washer, like that. And then we'll take our other washer, which I have right here, and sits right nice like that on there. And then later on we'll wipe up some of the grease that oozes out from the side. And then our next step is to get our shaft back in its housing and start hooking her back up, and then we move on to the other side. So now that we've got that in there, I noticed something multiple times. I had to deal with it for a solid 2 minutes. There's like this little plastic fucking bushing thing in here, and it kept wanting to pop out, and I got it pushed down for the most part, but it seems like it's still kind of sticking up a bit. So what we're going to try and do is, we got that on there, and can we still see where the C-clip has to go in? And the answer is yes, we can. However, it seems like it might be kind of a tight fit, and we don't really want that grinding like a motherfucker. So I'm wondering about pulling that bushing out. But first I'm going to try and put that clip back in and see how tight it is. Typically rule of thumb is that if you can still kind of wiggle this around just a little bit, you're fine. So we got our clip on there, and hey, we can still move that. So we're going to call that one a success. You can see the bearing kit sits right down there like that. And I'm going to grab a rag and clean that up a little bit. At this point, you would put your dust cap back on, but like I said, I broke mine pulling them off. Not really a big deal. It is something that you should replace at some point, but I'm not super worried about it at this moment. Just now noticing, that's a lot more play than I would like it to have. But you can only fix so many things at a time, and that inner bushing isn't going to be one of them today. Plus, this thing actually just mows grass. Now, if I was building a racing mower, I definitely would not be okay with that. But this thing tops out at like 6.5, 7 miles an hour. And I don't do any off-roading or like hard mudding with it. So I regret to inform you kind of that I'm going to call that acceptable, I guess, would maybe be the word for it. This side's got a decent bit of play too, so it was a weird noise this horn made. Anyway, time to get her done on this side. Ta-da! Oh yeah, oh, grease the shaft real fucking nice, bud. Went a little bit easier on the grease for the bearing this time around. Just, that was excessive. We didn't need that much grease on that one. But definitely got her good enough on this side. So now it's time I'll start working her back on into the housing. And once again, our friend here, Mr. Plastic Shitty Worthless Bushing, does not consent to the current situation. You basically just gotta kind of fuck with it until it's fine with it. There's really no specific fucking way to make this work. You just gotta fuck with it. I'm angry at this thing. But here's the thing. It's already fucking broken. It's this cheap, shitty little piece of plastic. We've already got play in there anyways, as we saw on the other side, and I still had this in on the other side. So we're just gonna try it without this thing and see how she fucking does. Because this isn't worth the fucking hassle. It's all hooked back up. Can still spin that washer. Hooray! Well, if Mother Nature could dial the wind back a bit, that'd be fucking awesome, but I doubt that's gonna happen. So anyway, she's all done, minus the dust caps, because I'm gonna have to replace those. Those got fucked up. But the wheels are looking straight, at least straight with each other. They're a little bit cockeyed, but at least they're both cockeyed. So, from the videos I've seen, they say that when the mower's sitting still, you can't really notice the difference. I actually can notice a difference, just not a very big one yet. But supposedly, once these fuckers are up and moving, that's when you can really tell that something's different. See how well she's gonna fire up. I haven't ran her in 2 days. Now that we have a choke. Fucking stellar, bro. Let her warm up for a minute. Alrighty. Come on. These fucking transmissions suck. There we go, third gear. Oh, man. Huge difference. Nice. Push down the pavement. Much better. Much better. Man, that was way nicer. Definitely tell the difference. Well worth the overall with shipping and everything. About 25 bucks for the bearings and the grease. And it only took me an hour, maybe even less than that, to do it. So, and that was getting up, finding tools and, you know, cleaning the grease and shit off my hands. Definitely a serious upgrade. Hey, Nanner. Definitely a serious upgrade. Man, I thought I could notice a difference just riding around, but coming back here and actually cutting grass, which my blades aren't very sharp, but my deck needs a rebuild kit. 1 more year.
4 more years. Pause.
4 more years. 4 more years.
Actually, though, just 1 more year. Getting right up here close to this propane tank and shit. That's where you really notice where that kit is nice, man. I highly recommend it. It's fucking awesome. And this looks much better. Now, if I could just clean up the rest of my fucking yard so I could mow the whole damn thing, then we'd be cooking with heat, boys. So, filming this after I filmed the ending of the video. I'm going to try and splice it in before that. But I guess point being is that my whole kind of sign off and everything, you won't see the bullets back there, and then in this clip you do. I helped push so we wouldn't be putting all the fucking strain on that transmission. Had Mom driving the tractor. She seems to be a pretty big fan of the power steering kit too, so that's a good day. But anyway, just figured I'd give you a quick update on this fucking thing here within the next couple of days, especially once this is gone. Somebody please come by it. And I'm gonna start cracking on this because, well, I don't want to be pulling shit like that with this. That was fucking designed for it. That will tow better than it will mow or do pretty much anything else. It's what they do. They fucking tow shit. They don't do it fast, and they're not very easily maneuverable, but fuck will they pull some weight, especially with them ag tires on the back. 850 pounds without my 220 pound fat ass on it. She gets around pretty good. So anyway, so main things to remember: make sure you've measured your spindle diameter so you can get the right bearings. You don't want to go with something that's too small or way too big. You can go with something a little bit oversized. I did. Those are 3/4 inch shafts. I couldn't find any of those for less than 20 bucks, and I found one that was 1 inch diameter, inside diameter, for like $12 without shipping, not including shipping. So you know, it's, make sure you do that, but well worth it. I will put a link in the description to the video, or to the product that I bought, and also I forget the guy's name. Somebody else did a video on the same thing. A lot better video than what I did. I just wanted to do a video of it since I was doing this kit anyways. And that's what's up. So if you like this video, maybe give her a thumbs up. The chickens say hi. And check out my playlist. I got a playlist of every video I've ever done to this tractor. Started a new playlist to the Murray mud mower. Gonna start crack-lacking on that here pretty soon after I get some shit done to the Bolins. Somebody needs to come and buy that from me. Get it the fuck out of my yard. And if you'd consider it, maybe subscribe if you want to see more. So peace out, and thanks for watching.